Having a phone that combines stunning camera quality with sleek design and powerhouse performance, that's what Sony brings to the table. In a market flooded with smartphones, Sony stands out by offering something special, whether you're into photography, gaming, or simply want a device that keeps up with your lifestyle. Today, we're diving into the top 5 best Sony phones available right now. From impressive battery life to advanced imaging tech, these picks showcase Sony's blend of innovation and reliability. For more details on products, follow the links in the description box down below. So, if you're considering a new smartphone, let's explore what Sony has in store for you. Sony's Xperia lineup offers advanced camera technology, high-resolution displays, and powerful performance, but different models cater to different needs. Here's a breakdown of the key factors to help you make the best choice. Sony's Xperia phones excel in camera technology, offering features like 4K video recording, Cinema Pro mode, and Zeiss optics. If photography is a priority, look for models in the Xperia 1 or Xperia 5 series. Xperia phones feature high-resolution OLED displays with up to 4K resolution and 120Hz refresh rates, perfect for streaming and media. The 21:9 cinema-wide aspect ratio enhances the viewing experience, especially for movie lovers. With Qualcomm Snapdragon processors, Xperia phones deliver smooth performance. Models like the Xperia 1 and 5 series are ideal for gaming and multitasking, while the Xperia 10 series often offers better battery life for everyday use. Choosing the best Sony phone depends on whether you prioritize display, camera, or battery life. Consider these factors and match them with your needs for a Sony smartphone that aligns perfectly with your lifestyle. Number 5. Sony Xperia 10-5. If you're looking for a Sony phone with a long-lasting battery, the Xperia 10-5 is the best option. This device has a 5000 mAh battery, which is only a little smaller than those inside the similarly priced OnePlus 12 and Google Pixel 8 Pro. In our testing, we found it to be a little more efficient, offering at least a day of charge, providing you don't spend the whole day gaming on it. As for aesthetics, you can pick up the 10-5 in black, white, sage green, and lavender. It's got a 6.1-inch screen and weighs just 159 grams, which is less than other premium devices like the iPhone 15 and Samsung Galaxy S24, so it's pretty sleek and fits nicely in even the tightest pockets. We don't recommend this phone for those wanting a camera-specific device, though the triple cameras are still decent, making this phone capable enough for selfies and pet photos for your social media. It also has a slightly disappointing 60Hz refresh rate, which obviously isn't as good as the industry leaders with their 120Hz. It's something we only really noticed in demanding games like PUBG Mobile and Genshin Impact, but it's important to note. Number 4. Sony Xperia Pro 1. Perhaps you're interested in a Sony phone with the best camera options? Well, look no further than the Xperia Pro 1. With its professional-grade camera, you do need a little bit of photography knowledge to make sure this phone hits its full potential. But the telephoto lens and the choice between f2.0 and f4.0 apertures on the main camera make it feel more like a camera with a phone attached to it than anything else. But how long can you use this device out in the wild without needing a charge? Well, it houses a 4500 mAh battery, which isn't quite as good as the 10-4 and the 1.5, but still gives you about 6 to 7 hours of screen time each day, longer still without intensive use. Finally, this phone has a beautiful 6.5-inch 4K HDR OLED screen with a 120Hz refresh rate, so your pictures really pop and games look great. It only comes in frosted black, but as with other Sony phones, there's something about black Sony phones that just looks fantastic and pretty luxurious too. The downside? Well, it's expensive, but that's true of most phones that are as capable in the camera department as this one. Number 3. Sony Xperia 10-4. We always appreciate a solid mid-range phone, especially when it gives off flagship vibes. Not everyone can afford the sometimes extortionate prices of a brand new device, so we highly recommend the Sony Xperia 10-4 if you're looking for something that feels like a flagship but doesn't break the bank like one. As with other phones on this list, you get access to some fantastic photography features with the 10-4. These features double up with the 12MP wide, 8MP telephoto, and 8MP ultra-wide triple camera system to offer an experience we think is on par with that of the Pixel 7a and OnePlus 12R in terms of the best mid-rangers for snapping high-quality shots. This option also boasts a solid 5000 mAh battery that almost always gets you through the day, and a bright OLED that makes for a better content streaming experience than some flagships we've spent time with. Before moving on, we have to mention that we were left a little disappointed with the performance of the 10-4, especially when it comes to gaming. It's a solid all-rounder in every other aspect, but it struggles to keep up with some of the best gaming phones in the same price range when it comes to running anything more demanding than your most basic mobile titles, which in all honesty isn't surprising considering its outdated chipset. It's also not the quickest in the charging department, with paltry 21-watt speeds falling way behind those competitors, so it's always worth taking charging equipment with you if you opt to use this phone on your travels. Number 2. Sony Xperia 5.5. While most premium phones have triple camera setups these days, the Sony Xperia 5.5 manages to outdo them with just a 48MP wide lens and a 12MP ultra-wide lens. We've tested countless cameras, and the results you get from the Xperia 5.5 are up there with newer and more expensive devices like the Honor Magic 6 Pro and Xiaomi 14 Ultra. You almost always get clean, high-definition images, whether it's in ideal conditions or low-light scenarios. Combine this with its excellent 5000 mAh battery, which we found more efficient than that of other premium phones like the Samsung Galaxy S24 and Google Pixel 8, as well as a great gaming experience thanks to its powerful Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset. And you're dealing with a bit of a dark horse in the premium smartphone arena. Simply put, it might not be as well known as some of the big-name Android phones, but it's plenty capable of competing with them. There aren't many caveats to the 5.5, but we have to note that with only 2 years of software updates and 3 years of security updates, it's not as future-proofed as the latest Samsung and Google Pixel options. It's also not the most generous in terms of storage, with most phones at this price range offering much more than the 128 gigabytes you're getting here. You can pop in a micro SD to expand that storage, but that's an additional expense to consider if you don't already have one. Number 1. Sony Xperia 1.5. The big hitter of this list is the Sony Xperia 1.5, which is easily Sony's best overall phone in 2024. We've tried plenty of flagship devices out, but few feel as nice as this one, thanks to its sturdy build and textured design. Fewer still can compete with its cameras, with Sony condensing all of its photography know-how into this pocketable device, giving you the option to leave your DSLR at home without missing the opportunity to take extremely high-quality shots. Combining a dazzling 6.5 inches 120Hz 4K HDR OLED display, a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset, and a 5000 mAh battery, we particularly love how games look on this phone, as well as how long we can play them for. It is worth mentioning that one of the caveats here is a slightly slow rate of charging, so be prepared to plug it in before you go to bed each night. This handset is available in 3 colors: black, green, and silver, and supports the latest Android 14 software. Unfortunately, it isn't going to go any further than that, which is a slight concern with Android 15 on the horizon, but Android 14 is still capable enough if you're not concerned about being on the cutting edge. Besides, at least you don't have to worry about any bugs with new updates. The real downside to the Sony Xperia 1.5 is that it's incredibly expensive. This smartphone goes for a similar price to the Samsung S24 Ultra and iPhone 15 Pro Max. Still, we think it's right up there with both of those phones in terms of hardware and software, with the caveat of that annoyingly slow charging speed, and it's clearly the best Sony phone in town at the time of writing. This concludes our ranking of the top Sony phones. If you find this video to be useful, kindly press the thumbs up button. Which one will you pick? Fill out the space below with your thoughts. For your time, I'm grateful. Please like and subscribe to our channel if you found this video to be helpful in any way so you won't miss any upcoming stuff. Whoever got this far. When the next video comes out, I want to see you there.